Hey everybody, it's Leeroy from Leeroy Gaming, and with Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous right around the corner, I thought I would come back to the game that helped me kind of start this channel when it came to kind of mass content that I was creating. So in the next week or so, I'm going to be creating a lot of videos looking at the updated features and classes that have been added since I last created videos. So do make sure to check out the descriptions of all these videos for links to those playlists. So if you want to check out the previous content I created. Today we are going to be specifically looking at one of the new Bloodrager archetypes, and archetypes are basically kind of like subclasses. It's called the Mixed Bloodrager, so we're going to be looking in depth on what this class brings, or the subclass brings. As with all my videos, make sure to check the description below also for timestamps so you can navigate as you wish. With that being said, guys, let's go ahead and jump right into things. All right, let's go ahead and start with the description. So the Bloodrager, Mixed Bloodrager archetype. Sometimes the mixed blood makes an unstoppable martial machine out of blood ragers, or out of a blood rager, forcing conflicting impulses on his mind. So utilizing the new kind of format they added a couple patches ago. So you can see right off the bat, they're going to have really high fortitude saves, really low will saves, and low reflex saves. So they're very physically tough. You're going to have a high base attack bonus, so a full BAB. They're going to start with 10 hit points, and they're going to get 6 hit points per level. Now, another new feature of the UI that they added is this kind of progression here for both their physical progression as well as potential spell progression. So this is something you can always kind of check out. So for the physical progression, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of mouse over this for you guys. You can kind of see, for example, level 1, they're going to have 1+1 attack hit, or that attack they can make. And then as you hit level 2, it's going to be +2. Their fortitude save is going to start scaling, but will and reflex is going to be 0. Here's a 3. I'm going to kind of just mouse over at each one of them for you really quick. So feel free to pause. If you want to take a look at them, you'll see a level 6, you'll get a second attack. So I'll have the first one a +6 and the second one a +1. And you're going to start getting some will and reflex saves. And then, as we get to level 11, you're going to get a third attack. And then right here at level 16, you're going to get your fourth attack, where you have +10 to fortitude, +5 to will, +5 to reflex as far as your base saves. And it's going to push all the way through to level 20. At level 20, you can kind of see very standard max BAB setup, +20 on your first attack, +15, then +10, +5, +12 to fortitude, while having +6 will and +6 reflex saves. And you can also take a look at their spell progression. So obviously, if you're a level 1, they're not going to have any level 1, 2, 3, or 4 spells. But as you level up, you're going to notice that eventually you will get those. So right here at starting level 5, you're going to have one baseline level 1 spell. And it's going to kind of progress. You're going to get new spells. So what's interesting is you're going to have access to these level 1 spells here at first level. And then by the time you get level 7, you're going to get access to level 2 spells. You're going to progress some more. You're going to get access to level 3 spells at level 10. And then finally, the highest level of spells that you're going to get as a Bloodrager are going to be at level 13. Those are level 4 spells. And then what you're basically just going to get is more baseline amounts of casts. This can be modified depending on your stats. So that can be quite helpful. So that is the progression for the physical development as well as the spell development. Now let's take a look at the class features. So you're still going to get the fast movement. So this is increases your land speed by 10 feet, which is nice. But you have to note that this only is applied when you're wearing no armor, light armor, or medium armor. And it does stack with other buffs. So, for example, you'll see if you were to get additional land speed increases through other methods, or if you like, multi-class, for example, those would stack. You're gonna get the Blood Rage feat basically. So this is just like the traditional Blood Rager. At first level, you can Blood Rage for a number of rounds per day equal to 4 plus your Constitution modifier. And then at each level after first, you can Blood Rage for 2 additional rounds per day. Temporary increases to Constitution, such as those gained from Blood Raging or spells like Bear's Endurance, don't increase the total amount of rounds that a Blood Rager can Blood Rage per day. The total number of rounds of Blood Rage per day is renewed after resting for 8 hours, though these hours need not be consecutive. While in Blood Rage, a Blood Rager gains +2 bonus on melee attack rolls, melee damage rolls, thrown weapon damage rolls, and will save throws. In addition, they take a -2 penalty to AC. Also gets 2 temporary hit points per hit die, so per level that you have. These temporary hit points are lost first when a character takes damage, disappear when the Blood Rage ends, and are not replenished if the Blood Rager enters a Blood Rage again within 1 minute of the previous Blood Rage. If a Blood Rager falls unconscious, the Blood Rager immediately ends, placing him in peril of death. And Blood Rage counts as the Barbarian's Rage class feature for the purpose of prerequisites, feat abilities, magic items, and spell effects. So it's basically the same as a Barbarian Rage, just this is the Blood Raging, for example, here. Now, on top of that, you have your normal proficiencies. They can wear all light and medium armor. They can wear shields, simple martial weapons. The big thing that they add here is, unlike a normal Blood Rager that's going to pick a sorcerer, well, basically a Blood Rager bloodline, slight modification to the sorcerer bloodlines. In fact, I made a whole video on this, so do make sure to check out that link so that you can take a look at what all of those bloodlines do. But there's a unique feature here. So instead of picking one at first level, you can basically, once a day, Blood Ragers, mixed Blood Ragers can use their strange heritage to invoke powers of different bloodlines. Once per day, you can choose a bloodline. Until the next time you choose a bloodline, you can gain all the advantage of the chosen bloodline. What does that mean? Well, you could have like a Black Dragon bloodline. Then another day you can change to Elemental bloodline, like a Fire Elemental bloodline. Then you can change to a Fey bloodline, which is pretty nice. So basically what it gives you is it gives you a flexible bloodline selection as opposed to being locked into one. And it looks like you're not really losing anything compared to a normal Blood Rager. So that's quite nice. If we take a look really quick at a normal Blood Rager, pretty much it looks like it's identical. I do want to just make sure. Yeah, it looks like you're just getting this addition right here. Oh, and it gets even better, boys. I didn't even realize this addition. So when we do get to level 4, you're going to get starting level 4, you're going to be able to choose a second bloodline to invoke at the same time. So what does this mean? This basically means you don't want to, there's zero incentive to run a normal Blood Rager anymore. You can basically play it as if it was a singular Blood Rager by just selecting a bloodline and then not changing it. But this just allows you to change it. And here you can have a second, you can basically have 2 bloodlines at the same time, which is absolutely nuts. Now let's keep looking. So again, you do lose your normal bloodline selection. At level 3, you get Blood Sanctuary. Due to the power of your blood, a Blood Rager can stand confidently amidst the effects of spells cast by himself or their allies. You gain a +2 bonus on saving throws against spells that he or allies cast. So in this game, if you didn't know, unless you play on real low difficulties, there is friendly fire. So this kind of protects you from friendly fire. So that's kind of nice if you aren't that good at aiming or just like throwing fireballs in the middle of enemies when you're kind of in melee. You're gonna get at level 2, you get Uncanny Dodge, and then by level 5, you're gonna improve Uncanny Dodge, where you can no longer be flanked. Really, really nice. You're gonna get damage reduction progression. This is very similar. It's basically identical to what barbarians get. So it's starting at 7th level. You're gonna get damage reductions of 1 from the Bloodrager takes each time he is dealt damage from weapons or a natural attack. And then at 10th level and every 3 levels, you're gonna reduce another 1. And this obviously can't make the damage go below 0. So if you were to get all the way to 19, you're gonna have 5 damage reduction. Now, you will also at level 11 get greater blood rage. So at 11th level, when a blood rage enters blood rage, the bonus to his attack and damage rolls increases to +3, and the morale bonus on his will saves increase to +3. In addition, upon entering a blood rage, the blood rager can cast a blood rager spell he knows of 2nd level or lower as a swift action. The spell must have a touch or self range. This use consumes a blood rager spell slot. As if he had cast a spell, he must have the spell slot available to take advantage of this effect. Greater Blood Rager counts as the barbarian's greater rage ability for the purpose of prerequisites, feat abilities, magic item abilities, and spell effects. So, yeah, it's just better all around. It lets you, cast spells right as you basically enter the Blood Rage, and it does more damage, and it's better at will saving. So it's just all around great. You're going to get a level 14 Indomitable Will, so that's +4 bonus on will saves, resist enchantment spells while blood raging, and it stacks with all other modifiers. That's big, including the morale bonus on will save he also receiving during his blood rage. So one of the things you notice that they actually have a low natural will save, as you see up here. But when they're blood raging, it spikes like crazy. So while they're blood raging, they're actually quite resistant to will effects, and especially, as you can see, ones that are enchantment effects. And those are important because that's where you lose control a lot of times. Level 17, you get Tireless Blood Rager. You no longer become fatigued at the end of the Blood Rage. And if you solo class and go all the way to 20, you get Mighty Blood Rage at 20th. When a Blood Rager enters a Blood Rage, the morale bonus to his attacks and damage rolls increase to +4. The morale bonus to his will saves increase to +4 as well. Remember, a damage roll increase of +4 is the equivalent of +8 strength, for example, if you're going for a strength build, which you probably will. So that's a big deal. And furthermore, the spells you can apply to yourself at the beginning of a Blood Rage due to the greater Blood Rage class feature is not limited to only spells of 2nd level or lower. This means you can apply up to a maximum 4th level spell. So that's really, really powerful. And if and when you get to this point. I also wanted to quickly point out the class skills for this class. It's going to be mobility, athletics, persuasion, perception, lore nature, and knowledge arcana. Nothing surprising here. Now, I did want to bring up something very important for this class. So relatively early in the game, you're going to unlock what are called Mythic Feats. And there is actually a Mythic feat called the 2nd Bloodrager Bloodline. If you're curious about all of these feats, you can check out my video where I go over every single one. You can check out the link for that. But it's very important to note, this mixed Bloodrager archetype, you cannot double dip and get a 3rd one. So because you can already swap between multiples, you cannot pick this up at all to get a 3rd. Additionally, there's another one that's pretty popular. It's called Bloodline Ascendance. So basically, if you pick this up, you immediately gain an ability from the 20th level of your bloodline. So all the bloodlines, they'll have, as you level up, different kind of abilities that you unlock or buffs. Well, this is like their little capstone. Because you do not have a permanent bloodline and you can swap between them, you also can't get that. So do note, these are 2 technical weaknesses. To gain a lot of flexibility, you can obviously have 2 bloodlines without having to pick up one of these feats. but at the same time, you can't get them capped. So if you play one of the other Bloodragers, you can technically get a second Ascension, and then you can also get Bloodline Ascendants and unlock those level 20 abilities. But you're using up 2 of these Mythic Feats. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so that's the Mixed Bloodrager. I hope you found this video helpful. As always, if you did, make sure to hit a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I will be back with more videos really, really soon.